What's up, family? What's up? It's me, your boy, your urban sports guru, and I'm going to cover your AFC free agency for the AFC. A lot of shit's been going down in free agency, a whole lot of player movement. I like see players doing what they got to do, you know what I'm saying? Secure the bag, secure the best things for their families, and also being on teams where they can make a real impact. I love see shit like that. We're going to start off in the AFC East. Now, Miami lost a lot. They're on the verge of losing Robert Quinn to the Cowboys. They lost Cameron Wake. I'll get into that in a little bit. They gave away Ryan Tannehill. They got a new coach. They went inside Dwayne Allen. And they get Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick to me is a good backup. Very good backup. It's just crazy to me he always gets jobs. Always gets jobs. And he's a likable guy. But there's a guy named Colin Kaepernick who's still unemployed. I'll leave it at that. Patriots come free agency. They don't make their splash day. They make their splash in the Super Bowl. But they did make one move that's very, very significant. They made a trade to get Michael Bennett. This is a guy who had 9 sacks last year, platooning in Philly. Philly got it right. The way they platoon their pass rushers. Patriots going to do the same way. Belichick will use him effectively. Now, the Jets had a lot of holes and they filled them. First of all, on offense, get a good slot receiver in Jameson Crowder. They need a bell cow because guess what? Their quarterback will make mistakes. They need someone who can dump it down to and hand the ball off 20 times. Guess what they got? Le'Veon Bell. Supplies a need. And on defense, C.J. Mosley. Baltimore, how the fuck did you let him go? How the fuck did you allow him to leave? Ozzie Newsome's not there. You see the mass exodus of everybody leaving Baltimore. Baltimore will not be the same without Ozzie Newsome. So that's the AFC East. Let's go to talk about the Ravens. They lost 3 of their linebackers. They lost a lot. But they did throw the bag at Earl Thomas. You know, they didn't re-sign Eric Weddle. So they throw the bag at Earl Thomas. $32 million guaranteed. You know, Earl Thomas was letting it be known. Everybody thought he was going to Dallas, myself included. But he was letting it be known he wants the bag. Dallas wasn't, and they got a lot of cap room. They wasn't trying to give up the bag. Why? They know they got to pay Zeke. And Jerry Jones already let it be known he wants to pay Dak. They're already putting a lot of money in that offensive line, so. And they just went out and got Mark Ingram. Also, for running back, the key is with Baltimore for me. This is the second year now for Lamar Jackson. I always compared him to Tim Tebow. We never got to see Tim Tebow in year 2. Why? Denver went and got Peyton Manning. This is going to be very interesting to see if he can ascend. The Bengals didn't do a lot. I think the biggest thing, 2 moves they made. They gave Bobby Hart a 3-year deal. This is the same Bobby Hart that my Giants got rid of with the quickness. They couldn't get rid of him because he was so bad. He goes to Cincinnati, different offensive line coach, and he starts balling. Gave him a 3-year deal, meaning they got him there on purpose. Was it bad coaching? What? Shit didn't work in New York, and guess what? We need a right tackle. Something ain't right. The biggest thing I've seen is they re-signed Tyler Eifert, who can't never stay healthy. Now, when he stays healthy, he can look like one of the best tight ends in the game. But guess what? You got to be on the court. Steelers, to me, it's all about who they lost. They lost Le'Veon for nothing. And they get hosed in the Antonio Brown deal, which y'all know about. I'll be covering that momentarily. But to me, the team that made the biggest splash, is the Cleveland Browns. And I won't even go into Odell because that's easy. I want to talk about their defense. They're going to have a front four with Sheldon Richardson, Olivier Vernon, and Myles Garrett. They're going to be killing a lot of quarterbacks. So when you got an offense that's going to score points and you got a defense who can rush the passer, that's a great combination. Kareem Hunt's going to be serving an 8-game suspension. When he comes back, you got yourself a bell cow who can catch the football. Then, of course, you got Odell, probably the most talented receiver in football. And y'all know how much I like me some Baker Mayfield. Cleveland, the division is yours. Baltimore, I expect them to take a step back. Pittsburgh will definitely take a step back. The division is yours. Don't fuck it up. Now, move forward. Let's do the AFC South. We got Houston. They picked up Bradley Roby from Denver. They've needed a cover corner for the longest time to go with that pass rush, to go with that front seven. They needed a cover corner, and they finally get it. However, they did lose the Honey Badger. They replaced him with Tashawn Gibson from Jacksonville. He's no Honey Badger, but he's good. The problem with Houston that I have is this. They have not addressed the offensive line. This man, Deshaun Watson, has gotten sacked, like 70 times? And you don't address the offensive line in free agency? That means you're going to have to put all those resources into the draft. My whole thing is, it was about time, in my opinion, for them to take some of those resources away from the defense and start addressing that offense. I wanted to see them go get Le'Veon Bell. Didn't happen. First and foremost, address the offensive line. Still have yet to happen. Houston, you're on the clock. The Colts had $100 million to spend. You know why they have $100 million to spend? Because they don't spend it on nobody. Funches just got $13 million. I laughed when I first heard this because I remember Terrell Owens doing sit-ups in his driveway because he wanted $10 million. You heard what I just said? Hall of Famer Terrell Owens was doing sit-ups in his driveway because he wanted $10 million. Funches just got 13. That just shows you the kind of NFL we in right now. I'm just saying. Does give Andrew Luck another target, but give him some more help, particularly on the defensive end. Jacksonville Jaguars made a big move. Big move. First, they got rid of Blake Bortles. Hallelujah. Amen. The defense is clapping. They just don't want to be on TV doing it. And they got Nick Foles, who's significantly better. The problem is, who's he going to throw to? And I don't like their offensive line. John DeFilippo, yes, he's worked with him before. It's pretty much the only thing they got going for him. Because I don't like, he has no receivers to throw to, no tight end. He doesn't have the weapons. Why? Because a couple of years ago, when they had Robinson and Hearns, they made Bortles look good. When they had Mercedes Lewis and Robinson and Hearns and Leonard Fournette, you had skill position players. One of the reasons nobody talks about why they went down last year, you take away Robinson, you take away Hearns, now everybody could key on Leonard Fournette. And you had injuries on the offensive line. It's not a coincidence for me that Blake Bortles ended up looking even worse than he already was. At least before he was able to put up empty numbers, he couldn't even do that last year. Now you're putting Nick Foles in this situation. He's way better than Bortles, but still, you got to give him some weapons. You got to give him something. I wish him the best because I wouldn't mind seeing him in New York, but look like we're going to go a different route. But I just think he's good. I just don't want to see him fail because then it looks like he just got lucky, and I don't think he got lucky. Personally, I don't think he got lucky at all. Then we got Jacksonville. Jacksonville goes get Cameron Wake, who I think could be very effective if he's used him as a situational rusher. They already had a great defense last year by the numbers. Use him as a situational rusher. He can get you 9-10 sacks, like I said. Platooning your rushers, keeping guys fresh, like they do in Philly. They do that in Tennessee. You can do that. Get Adam Humphries. Get you a good slot receiver. Kenny Vaccaro, good safety. My thing is the biggest pickup. Roger Stafford, the guard from LA. Now, everybody talks about Dallas's offensive line, and rightfully so. But Tennessee has an offensive line that already right now has 3 first-round picks who've all been to the Pro Bowl. Now they're getting a Pro Bowl guard. And you got Secretariat back there, a.k.a. Derrick Henry, running the football. The bowling ball. I shouldn't even call him that. Call him the bowling ball. Nobody wants to tackle this guy. Behind this offensive line, I'm not the biggest Marcus Mariota fan, although he does have intangibles. Ryan Tannehill, to me, is a better thrower of football. I think if you give Ryan Tannehill that running game, Who knows? Them getting Ryan Tannehill does put Marcus Mariota on the clock, though. Puts him on the clock. Now in the West, we got the Broncos. They go out there and get Joe Flacco. John Elway is determined to not overspend for an average quarterback. He's determined. He is so fucking determined. But even when he's not trying to overspend, he does still somehow ends up doing it. Now, Joe Flacco at this point in his career, I think he's done. In my opinion, I think he's done. Supposedly, they're not trying to use him as a bridge guy. But I think he's done. I think he's had his time, and I think he's finished. Now, it does help that he goes to a team who's trying to address the offensive line at tackle, get Juwan James from Miami, to go with that running game with Lindley, to get Kareem Jackson. Can they get themselves back in this position where that pass rush is getting back at you defensively? Can they get back to that? That's the question. Now, the Chiefs were the team that, to me, epitomized to score a lot on offense. Defense has to play the pass. We can rush the passer. Having two great rushers. They let Justin Houston go. They let Dee Ford go. He's in San Fran. So they're going to have to find them some pass rushers. They're going to have to. They're going to have to find them some pass rushers because everybody talks about, okay, the interception. But guess what? This is the same defense that just the Patriots walked down the field and scored a touchdown on in overtime. Patrick Mahomes should have been in the Super Bowl. But the defense, they showed up against Indy, but against fucking the Patriots, they had no backbone. And you give away your two best pass rushes. Who else is going to rush the quarterback? You got Jones, who on the outside. KC, you on the clock. I understand they may want to save some money because you know you're going to have to pay that kid Holmes. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in football. You know you're going to have to pay him. And you know you're going to have to reset the market doing it. Find you some pass rushers. Now, the Raiders make the biggest splash. Made a big splash in the division. Antonio Brown. Getting Trent Brown. More importantly, they cut the wide receiver from Green Bay. They get Tyrell Williams from San Diego. That, I think, is a good look. Because you're taking it from a division opponent who kicked y'all asses last year. And you get a compliment to Antonio Brown. You show up the offensive line. Derek Carr, this is on you. You know, John Gruden flirts when it comes to quarterbacks. He is non-committal. It's like someone who got the baddest bitch in home and he flirts with every other woman he sees. That's John Gruden when it comes to quarterbacks. I'm just making that point. That's my take on the AFC free agency. I'll be giving you the NFC next. It's your boy, Purple Sports Guru. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel. I'm out. Salute.